Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Common English Decoded. I'm so glad you're here with us today.
Hey, great to have you all joining us. How's everyone doing today? We're really excited about this episode.
We really are. You know, I was thinking about this topic all week. I kept catching myself using these words and wondering, am I using them correctly? It happens even to people who teach English.
Exactly. And today we're going to talk about 6 of the most important and most confusing words in the English language. We're talking about modal verbs: can, could, may, might, should, and would.
If you've ever wondered when to say can I versus may I, or whether to say I should do this or I would do this, then this episode is absolutely made for you.
By the end of today, you're going to feel so much more confident using all 6 of these modal verbs in your everyday conversations. You'll know which one to pick in almost any situation.
Here's a fun question for you right now. Go to the comments and tell us, which of these 6 modals confuses you the most? Is it could and would? Or maybe may and might? Write it down. We want to know.
And while you're down there in the comments, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Common English Decoded. We post new episodes every week, and you don't want to miss a single one. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, let's start with the basics. Modal verbs are special helping verbs. They go before the main verb in a sentence, and they tell us about ability, possibility, permission, or advice.
Right, and the great thing about modal verbs is that their structure is always the same. It's very simple: subject plus modal verb plus base verb. So you say, I can swim. You do not say, I can swims, or I can swimming. The main verb always stays in its base form.
That's such an important rule. I remember when I was first teaching English, students would say things like, she can sings really well. And I'd gently say, no. It's she can sing. The modal verb does all the work. The main verb just relaxes.
Ha! I love that. The main verb just relaxes. Okay, so let's talk about can and could first, because these two are super related. Can is used for present ability, something you are able to do right now. For example, I can speak English. She can drive a car. They can help you with that.
Could is the past form of can, but it does a lot more than just talk about the past. We use could to talk about past ability. When I was a child, I could run really fast. I definitely can't say that anymore.
Ha! Same here. We also use could to make polite requests in the present. Could you help me, please? Sounds more polite than, can you help me? Both are fine, but could has a softer, more respectful tone.
Here's a quick practice for you. Pause the video and say these sentences out loud. I can cook Italian food. When I was young, I could speak 3 languages. Could you please open the window? Say them out loud. It really helps.
Now, can and could in the negative form. For can, it's cannot, or the contraction can't. I can't come to the party. For could, it's could not or couldn't. She couldn't finish her homework. Notice we don't say could not to, just could not.
Can you think of something you could do when you were younger that you can't do now? Go ahead and write it in the comments. I'll go first. I could do a cartwheel when I was 8. I definitely cannot do that now.
Great. So, to review, can is for present ability and informal permission. Could is for past ability and polite requests. Both follow the same structure: modal verb plus base verb, and never change form. Really solid foundation. Let's build on it.
Okay, now let's talk about may and might. These two are all about possibility and permission, and a lot of learners mix them up. but once you understand the difference, it becomes much clearer.
May suggests that something is quite possible, maybe more than 50% chance. Might suggests something is less certain, maybe a smaller chance or just a vague possibility. For example, it may rain today. That means it looks likely. It might rain today. That means it's possible, but I'm not sure.
Think of it this way. If you look out the window and see dark clouds everywhere, you say, "It may rain." If there are just a few clouds and the sky is mostly blue, you say, "It might rain." The clouds tell you how certain to be.
I love that. Okay, let's do a quick dialogue. I'll be asking about plans and you respond. Ready?
Ready.
Are you coming to dinner on Saturday?
I may come. I just need to check with my family first. Or, I might come, depending on how tired I am from work.
Perfect. See how may suggests a stronger possibility than might? Now, may also has a formal use for permission. You might hear this in formal settings. May I use the restroom? May I speak with the manager? In casual conversation, people usually say, "Can I?" instead. But in formal situations, a job interview, a formal meeting, may I sounds much more professional.
Here's a tip. First, use may when you think something is likely or when asking formal permission. Second, use might when you're less sure or when you're talking about something hypothetical. Like, if I had more time, I might travel the world.
Third, and this is a great memory trick, both may and might can be used for future possibilities, and in most everyday conversations, the difference is small. Native speakers often use them interchangeably when speaking casually.
Try this now. Write a sentence in the comments using may or might about your plans for this weekend. Something like, I might visit my grandparents this weekend, or I may try a new restaurant. Show us what you've got.
So, to review this section, may is for stronger possibility and formal permission. Might is for weaker possibility or hypothetical situations. And in casual speech, native speakers often use both interchangeably. You're doing amazing. 2 down, 2 to go.
Now let's tackle the last two modals in our survival guide, should and would. These might actually be the most useful in daily life because we use them all the time when giving advice, making requests, and talking about unreal situations.
Should is your go-to verb for advice, recommendations, and obligations. When you tell someone what you think is the right thing to do, you use should. For example, you should drink more water. She should call her doctor. We should leave early to avoid traffic.
Should is also great for talking about what's generally expected. The meeting should start at 9 a.m., meaning that's what we expect to happen. Or, the package should arrive tomorrow. It's our best prediction based on what we know.
Now, here's an important tip about politeness with should. When you're giving advice to someone, be careful about your tone. You should exercise more, said harshly, can sound very judgmental. But, I think you should try exercising. It might really help. Sounds caring and supportive. Same word, very different feeling.
That is such a good point. The words around the modal verb matter so much. Okay, now let's talk about would. This one is fascinating because it has so many uses. First, would is used for polite requests. Would you mind closing the door? Would you like some coffee? This is actually more polite than using will or even could sometimes.
Second, would is used for unreal or imaginary situations, often with if. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world. If I had more time, I would learn to play the piano. Notice, these are things that aren't happening right now. They're just imaginary.
Okay, let me ask you something right now. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you go? Use would in your answer and write it in the comments. I'll go first. If I could live anywhere, I would move to a little town in Japan. The food, the culture, yes, please.
Would also expresses willingness. I would love to help you with that. Or talking about habits in the past. When I was a student, I would always study at the library. This is very similar to used to. Both talk about past habits.
Quick practice. Repeat after me out loud. You should get more sleep. Would you like some help? If I had $1 million, I would start my own business. Say those out loud. Your speaking improves so much when you practice out loud.
So, here's your structural review. Should for advice, recommendations, and expectations. Would for polite requests, unreal situations with if and past habits. Both follow the same pattern: subject, modal, base verb. Excellent work. You've now covered all 6 modals.
All right, now it's time for the section I know a lot of you have been waiting for. Common mistakes. And honestly, these are mistakes I've heard from students and even sometimes catch myself almost making. Nobody's perfect, and that's completely okay.
Mistake number 1, putting to after a modal verb. So many learners say, I can to speak English, or she should to call him. Both of these are wrong. Modal verbs are never followed by to. You simply say, I can speak English. She should call him. No to, ever.
Why does this happen? Because we think of modals like regular verbs. We say, I want to go, and I need to study. So we add to after modals too. But modals are special. They work differently. Think of to as the modal's enemy. They never go together.
Mistake number 2, using should when you mean would. Learners sometimes say, if I had more money, I should buy a new car. But that's incorrect. In conditional sentences with if, you need would, not should. If I had more money, I would buy a new car. Should is for advice. Would is for imaginary situations.
Here's a quick way to remember. If the sentence has an if and it's describing an imaginary situation, go with would. If you're telling someone what to do, use should. Say this out loud. I would do it if I could, and I think you should do it too.
Mistake number 3, confusing can and may for permission. Some learners think can for permission is always wrong, but that's not true. In casual everyday English, can I borrow your pen is completely fine and very natural. May I is more formal. Both are correct. Context decides which one fits better.
Mistake number 4, using might when you mean should. For example, you might want to see a doctor. This actually means I suggest you see a doctor, using might in a very polite, indirect way. Some learners use this correctly by accident but don't know why it works. Now you know. It's a polite, softened way of giving advice.
Practice time. Which is correct? Say the right sentence out loud. She can to drive or she can drive. She can drive. I would visit if I had time, or I should visit if I had time. I would visit if I had time. You're getting it.
Listen, every single person who speaks English as a second language makes mistakes with modals. Native speakers make mistakes too sometimes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. Every mistake you make is a step forward, not a step back.
Absolutely. And the more you use these verbs, in conversation, in writing, even just talking to yourself at home, the more natural they become. You've got this. Okay, let's do some interactive practice.
All right, it's practice time. I love this part. We're going to do a choose the correct sentence activity. For each situation, there are two options. Say the correct one out loud, or even better, write your answer in the comments so we can all practice together.
Situation 1. You want to politely ask your colleague to help you with a report. Which sounds better? Option A. You will help me with this report. Option B. Could you help me with this report? Option B. Could makes it polite and sounds much more natural in a work setting.
Situation 2. Your friend asks about tomorrow's weather. You're not really sure. Do you say, Option A, it may definitely rain, or Option B, it might rain, I'm not sure? May definitely is a contradiction. May already means possible, so Option B is correct. It might rain, I'm not sure.
Situation 3. You're giving advice to a friend who's feeling tired all the time. Option A. You should get more sleep. Option B. You would get more sleep. Option A is correct. Should is for advice and recommendations. Would is for imaginary situations or polite requests.
Situation 4. You're describing a dream scenario, what you'd do with unlimited money. Option A. If I had unlimited money, I should travel everywhere. Option B. If I had unlimited money, I would travel everywhere. Option B. Imaginary if sentence means we use would.
Now here's a challenge for you. Create your own sentence using any of today's 6 modals and post it in the comments. It can be about anything, your life, your dreams, your daily routine. We're going to read through the comments and celebrate your sentences.
And remember, try different formality levels too. Think about when you're talking to your boss versus talking to your best friend. May I leave early today, please? To your boss. Can I head out early? To your friend. Same idea, different modal, different register.
The most important thing is to keep speaking, keep writing, and keep practicing. A sentence that's slightly imperfect but spoken with confidence is always better than a perfect sentence you never say. Real conversation is where all of this comes alive.
Okay, we made it to the end of our Modal Verb Survival Guide. I am so proud of you for sticking with us through the whole episode. You've just learned 6 of the most powerful and versatile words in the English language.
Let's do a quick recap. First, can is for present ability and informal permission. I can swim. Can I sit here? Could is for past ability and polite requests. I could run fast as a kid. Could you help me?
Second, may is for stronger possibility and formal permission. It may rain. May I come in? Might is for weaker or more uncertain possibility. I might go. I'm not sure yet.
And third, should is for advice and expectations. You should see a doctor. The bus should arrive soon. Would is for polite requests, imaginary situations, and past habits. Would you like some tea? If I were rich, I would travel the world.
You now have the tools to sound more natural, more polite, and more confident in English conversations. And remember, using these correctly gets easier every single time you practice. Don't wait for perfection. Start using them today.
Here's a reflective question to think about before you go. Which of these 6 modals do you think you'll use most in your life? In your job? With your family? Think about it and write your answer in the comments. We'd really love to know.
And if this episode helped you, please share it with a friend or classmate who's learning English too. Give it a like, leave a comment, and most importantly, subscribe to Common English Decoded so you never miss an episode. We work hard on every single one of these for you.
We'll be back next week with another great English lesson. Until then, keep practicing, keep speaking, and believe in yourself. You're doing better than you think. See you next time.